form the College of Commissioners, and here Parliament is, as always, ready to play its part in the process. We will take our scrutiny role very seriously while working closely with the Commission President-elect in order to put the strongest possible team together on the pitch for Europe. I will leave it here and hand it over to our newly re-elected President of the European Commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roberta. Good afternoon to everyone. I guess you have heard my speech and you might have the possibility to have gone or read the political guidelines. So you can imagine this is a very emotional and special moment for me now. I just want to make three very short remarks before moving on to your questions. The first one is a more personal remark. I cannot begin without expressing how much I am grateful for the trust and the confidence of the majority of the European Parliament. 401 votes in favor. You recall last time it was 8 votes above the majority, necessary majority. This time it's 41, so much better. And this sends a strong message of confidence, and I think it's also recognition for the hard work that we carried out together in the last 5 years within the last mandate. We've spared no effort. We have navigated the most troubled waters that our union has ever faced, and we've kept the course on our long-term European goals. I also want to thank you, Roberta, the group leaders of the democratic forces in Parliament, and all the MEPs for the excellent cooperation, including during the last mandate, but also for the very substantial exchanges we have had over the past 2 weeks after the elections, and now the past 2 weeks till we are here. So I think this is a very good foundation for the next 5 years, and this was, I think, tangible in the debate today. Second, I want to highlight that I was very happy to have the opportunity to carry out a real pan-European electoral campaign. As you know, it brought me from Helsinki to Lisbon, from Bucharest to Rome, and many different places. I engaged with people from all walks of life, and I enjoyed taking part in a series of the TV debates we had with the other candidates. I think this makes our European democracy much more vibrant. And finally, let me walk briefly through the next steps indeed. I will focus on building now my team of commissioners for the next 5 years. In the coming weeks, I will ask leaders to put forward their candidates. I will, as I did last time, write a letter and ask for the proposal of a man and a woman as candidates. Only exception, like last time, when there is an incumbent commissioner that stays. And then I will interview the candidates as of mid-August, and I want to pick the best prepared candidates who share the European commitment. Once again, I will aim for an equal share of men and women at the college table. The new team will get ready for successfully passing then the Parliament hearings, and then I will again seek the confirmation of this House. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There's now time for a couple of questions. Would like to be first. Süddeutsche Zeitung, please.
Thank you very much. Jan Disseldorf for Süddeutsche Zeitung from Germany. Ms. von der Leyen, in your speech, you promised a technology-neutral approach with regard to the end of combustion engines in 2035. And I quote, in which e-fuels can play a role through a targeted amendment to the regulation as part of the planned review. 2 questions on this. Can you be more specific about what exactly you mean by this targeted amendment? And secondly, can you promise today that private individuals will still be able to buy new cars with combustion engines after 2035? Thank you.
So if we look at the cars, what is the state of play? We have a law, 2035 climate neutrality target for cars. That target stays. And we have to create predictability for investors and manufacturers and, of course, customers. Getting there will require indeed a technology-neutral approach in which e-fuels have to play a role. You know that at the moment we have the law and we have the proposal for the e-fuels. And they can play a role, I'm sorry, I'm tired. They can play a role through a targeted amendment of the regulation as part of the foreseen review. So important is we stick to the goals and we are technology neutral.
Mark Peppercorn.
Good afternoon, Mark Peppercorn, Volkskrant. Congratulations first, both of you. Commission President, I want to ask you, of course, the vote was secret, but looking to the results and to the statements of the parties, you see that you got the votes of the majority of the 4 pro-European parties. Is your aim to keep this, let's say, grand coalition together for your plans for the next 5 years?
Yes, I will work as intensively and as good as possible with these who supported me. Indeed, it's the pro-European, pro-Ukraine, pro-rule of law. I'm very grateful, of course, to the platform, EPP, Renew and SND, but I'm also very grateful to the Green group to have supported me. We had intensive exchanges on all the topics, and it's a good sign that at the very end, obviously, they were convinced to support me.
Laura.
Hi, Laura Zornoza for the Spanish news agency EFE. The votes are secret, but apparently Fratelli d'Italia, the party of Giorgia Meloni, has not supported your candidature. In retrospect, does it make you, do you think that approaching Meloni and ECR was the right move from the beginning, or should you have focused on a different path? Thank you.
The result shows that the approach was the right one. We've been working very hard throughout the election campaign. And again, I must say, to really bundle the democratic forces and to have a majority in the center for a strong Europe. And therefore, the approach to say all those who are pro-European, pro-Ukraine, pro-rule of law, we offer to work together. And the result today, I think, speaks for itself. It was the right approach.
Okay, then Thomas Meyer.
Thomas Meyer from the Standard Austria. I have a very short and simple question to President von der Leyen. If you think of the million citizens now in Europe, what would be today after the election, in a few phrases, your message to the citizens outside who might perhaps listen now?
We are working all together for a strong Europe. We're working on the topics of prosperity and competitiveness in our economy, social fairness because we have a social market economy. We're working on protecting people, so security and defense, but the most important is the overarching topic of strengthening our democracy. Our democracy is under attack from inside and from outside, and therefore it is crucial that the democratic forces stand together to defend our democracy.
And the last question, Henry Ford.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. This week, Donald Trump, the leading candidate in the US election, chose J.D. Vance as his running mate, making it pretty clear he intends to run a protectionist, isolationist administration. Today, you've announced a lot of plans to make a strong Europe, as you just said, in defense, in the economy, creating bigger business champions, et cetera, et cetera. How much of your plan for the next 5 years takes into account the fact that you may be dealing with a much less friendly White House in the future? Thank you.
I think, irrespective of elections in other parts of the world, it is important that we have, which I emphasized many times, a stronger Europe. And this includes, of course, that we reduce our dependencies. We will work very closely with our friends and allies. That is absolutely clear. But this does also include that we are building our own strength, and that we are strengthening the qualities that Europe has, and that we're working hard to have a strong Europe. This must be the premise we are working on.
Thank you very much.
Tired.